Hello, it's Chloe here from Border River Flowers. Good to be back on here again and doing a video. I'm going to start today by being the background noise is just my kids, so I hope they're not too noisy and you can hear me. And the wind stays settled because yesterday I was going to do a video yesterday and it was really windy, so I put it off until today, and now it seems to be just picking up right when I'm starting this video. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to be a bit long-winded at the start of this. I'm going to start right at the start because I don't feel like I've completely told my whole story, I guess, yeah. So Emily and I both decided to do cut flowers gardens at the same time, and then the property that we were on we sold and then moved, so that took it took us a while to find another property to buy, and so that took a really big chunk out. So I'm pretty much only I've dabbled in a few different things, growing different things, and I've always grown stuff, but this is my first season truly aiming to do cut flowers to sell and hopefully make a little business out of. So the property that we are on now, it's my husband's family, so my husband's mother owns it, and I'm just really lucky that I can use this space. My husband and his mother work together on the property, and oftentimes I'm off helping as well, so I've got to fit the cut flower garden into that, and a lot of the stuff we use, like the plough, the tractor, the rotary hoe, that's all my mother-in-law's, and so we're always very grateful that we've got that already. We didn't have to go out and buy that. We've got that here to use, which has been really helpful. Anything else is all stuff we've bought, so like the pump for watering, which we need to get a bit better set up for that. Haven't got any of our dripper line or anything down yet, so all the dripper line, weed mat, seeds, planting, anything else is stuff that we've invested in to do this. So it's still very expensive to start, but we are very lucky that we had the ploughs and tractors and rotary hoe and everything here to borrow from my mother-in-law. So yeah, I just want to get that out of the way because I didn't want to lead anyone astray that we'd started this right from scratch, including having to buy tractors and ploughs and all of that for what we do here, and that I'm lucky enough to be able to have this big space. I've got endless amount of space here, I can just keep expanding to what I want, and yeah, there's plenty of the property, I guess, because the rest of it's cattle and sheep. So yeah, when I'm not here in the garden, I'm generally out helping there somewhere, or trying to keep up with everything at the house, cleaning and washing and all of that stuff, plus the 2 kids. Anyway, I hope that gives you a good sort of where I'm at, how we got here, what we are doing, and yeah, I just think it's if you can understand someone's full story, it makes it a little bit easier. Yeah, so I'm going to do a garden tour, okay? So this will be my very first garden tour. I've planted a lot of stuff. We've had, as everyone, I think, or most people have had, such crazy weather. So some stuff is doing great. Weeds are doing great. So I've got a lot of weeding to do. So sorry in advance for all the weeds. That's the first thing I'll be doing after this, is getting a bit more weeding done. Yeah, some stuff's doing good. Some stuff has really suffered. I lost complete lots of some stuff. I lost a whole bed of dahlias. So the dahlias was just because of the consistent rain we were having for a while right after I planted them, pretty much. So that meant that they rotted before they could shoot properly. Some survived. I think currently I have 18 growing. And I probably lost twice as many as that. Yeah, I had quite a few. I was one of my main crops. So as Emily said in her last video, she sent me some more tubers. She said about 18 or something, so I'll get them in the ground as soon as they get here, and I think I'll probably also go and buy a few more because I would really rely on them to be one of my main flowers throughout summer and into autumn. And the other thing that really, it wasn't so much the consistent rain being wet for so long that took out a lot of my other things. It was we had a couple of really wild storms one night after the next, just after we planted quite a few seeds, direct sow sunflowers and zinnias the day before, and we planted some little plants, and because it's freshly tilled soil, so the dirt washed around quite a bit and just really did a lot of damage there. So it's a bit hit and miss. It's not far from pretty, very definitely far from pretty in my garden at the moment, but I hope you enjoy. Yeah, I just hope you can sort of follow along and enjoy right from the start, and see it hopefully turn into something pretty eventually. Okay, so I'm going to start at the very start of the garden. I will give you a look at overall what we're up to. So right down here, so I ran out of weed mat I'm only putting weed mat on the walkways because I knew I wouldn't be able to keep that under control. We have kikuyu and cooch like bad here, especially the cooch. So it just wouldn't work me trying to do it without the weed mat on the walkways. So right back over here where you can see it's ploughed up to, so it's all planted right back to there. So the very first things I planted were these gladioli. Now there's all different ones here. I've got the tags underneath the rocks there for each one. I won't run through what each one is today. I think there's about 150 here. They were old bulbs. I ordered them right at the start and then didn't get them planted until way late. So, but I'm amazed. They pretty much all grew and they're growing like crazy. Nothing has set them back. I'll be getting flowers from them shortly. On the other hand, it's the same story with the lilies. Planted them way too late. The bulbs I'd had them for a while, and they just, not only did hardly any of them come up, but they're not going to be any good to cut. They're way too small. They're flowering way too small. So they're not going to be any good. I did know that was a higher possibility that would be the case, and that's fine. I'm just going to leave them. If it wasn't for the fact that if I let them flower and die back, I will have the bulbs. Stay off the garden, sweetheart. Have the bulbs for next year. Otherwise, I just pull those out. But I've got plenty of space, so I'm not struggling for space. This bed here is the full bed of dahlias that I lost. They're all my original dahlias, so that's really annoying, but I have a few here. So I've got a few in this bed, down along here. Like a fair few of them didn't come up as well, or came up and then rotted. And then down in the other end here, there's a couple more dahlias as well. And then up the other end of the garden a bit further, I've got some others that I'll show you. Here is, I had a few lupins. So I had a pack, I think it was only like 10 seeds. And I thought, they're old seeds, I just threw them in. And what have I got? I think I've only got like 4 or 5 of them left here that survived. I'm going to go on the other side because I've got bad shadow there. And these are calendula. These are the pink surprise. Just, yeah, the weeds are bad in some, like I've kept on top of them in some gardens, but other gardens I'm getting a bit behind. Some old seeds of some ornamental cabbages that I had, some old seeds, so I just directly sowed them straight into the ground. I got a few, but not a huge amount. We'll just see what they do. I'd say it's too warm now. Planted direct, so flocks into here, I think, and it didn't come up. This is some sedum here that my sister-in-law gave me. So I'm not sure which one it is, but I just divided it up and threw it into the ground, and it seems to be doing okay. I was a bit worried about it with the wet, that the wet weather would take it out. So another dahlia here. Now I think the dahlias that are planted in this little section here were from Van Diemen's quality bulbs, and I think I've only got a couple that survived there. This is my sunflowers here. Down the bottom here stayed quite wet, and I don't think they liked it, so they're a bit shorter. There's 5 different varieties in here, and off the top of my head I can't tell you what they are, and I don't have tags in for these ones. This little gap here it was just a gap in the sunflowers. They didn't germinate at all, so I planted some purple prince zinnias into here, and then got that downpour, so only like a few of them have come up. Only a couple of them have come up, but that's okay. More sunflowers. I think this one here is the... No, I couldn't tell you actually. It's one of the dark ones. And then there's this patch here that wasn't so great germination either. And then up the top here, these ones are doing like fantastic. Growing like crazy. Already setting flowers, which I'm not sure about. But they're fairly tall, like they're a good 2 to 2.5 feet tall. And then I had just a handful of zinnia cactus mix seeds left, so I just direct sowed them into this little space in the end here. These are my zinnias that I planted into trays, so I've got cactus mix here at the start. Can you just stay off that side please, sweetie, because see how your shadow goes across? It makes it really hard to see. Can you stay on this side please? This one here is Queen Orange with Lime, and I've got Queen Red with Lime, and then Queen Lime with Blush. Here I've got Rebecca Gloriosa Daisies mix. So I had not bad germination on them. I had terrible germination on this tiny little patch here of the Sahara. I had really bad germination on, and I've just sown another tray a few weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago now, and I've had good germination on one, and I think I had good germination or reasonable germination on the Sahara this time, and terrible germination on whatever the other one is that I planted. This here's Coreopsis, had really bad germination on it. It's the Mayfield Giant one, but I don't know that I'll plant it again anyway, because not far from where we are here, it just grows wild on the sides of the road paddocks, so it's probably not something that people are going to go, oh yeah, we're going to pay for that when they can just pick it off the road. You're in shadow again, sweetheart. This here is a Status Pacific mix. So all the way down, see this is a bit of a low spot in the garden here, and they didn't like the water sitting in here, whereas up here it's on a bit of a lean, and it ran off there a bit better. Status, again, this is the Pastel Shades mix from this, so from this tag here down to this tag here is the pastel mix, and again on here where the water could run off a bit, they grew a bit better than down here where the water sat on them a bit when we had those downpours. This is a Cosmo Double Click mix. And it has been happy growing like, but wants to keep flowering. It's not big enough to flower yet and it wants to keep flowering, so I've had to keep pinching the flowers out of them to try and get them to grow a bit before they flower. So I got a patch of the double click mix, and then this one, this little tiny little patch here, which is the ones I wanted to work, but they didn't get good germination on them. It's the double click bicolor violet mix. This is another lot of the sunflowers. This is the royal velvet, which is, I think, was the one I was trying to think of over there in the other row. All the way down here, and then we got that downpour, so the seeds will probably come up down the gully somewhere. A few of them have come up, but very definitely not many. What do we have here? So I had Nigella Transformer Yellow in here, and it just kept keeping them wet all the time. I think that's one there, but I think the majority of them are just gone, which I'm sad about because I haven't seen anybody else grow them, and I was really keen to see what they were like. So I might have to get some more seeds for them and yeah, have another go at them. Okay, keep moving, Mummy. Got to keep moving. Here are Delphinium. So this is a Pacific Giants mix. They were just seeds I had from quite a while ago, so they're old seeds. I had pretty good germination on them, but this was a full planted out as full rows, and I lost a huge amount to the water. They just didn't like sitting in water, or didn't like the amount of water they were getting. So that's them right up until here. And then from here are the Galahad, which since planting these I have come to learn that they aren't necessarily the best cut for our variety. But I don't mind because they're one of my favourite flowers, so if they're no good for selling, I will just keep them myself. Anyway, all of this is weeds, all needs weeding. Just got to get to some more of that today. It's an endless job. So that's right up to here. And then here we have yarrow, or achillea. So this is the Summer Pastels mix. Again, this was a spot where the water sort of sat a little bit. But for the majority of them are growing pretty well. Again, I badly need to weed this spot. I'm super excited for the achillea. I really looking forward to it flowering. This is the flower, I think it's called Flower Burst Red, I think. This one. Right up to here. Just got a child that keeps getting under my feet. And then this last section here is favourite berries. I saw some seeds. Yeah, terrible. You see a pretty flower and you just want to grow all of them. So I saw some of these seeds, the cutest little carnations, and the wet has killed some of them. They're just starting to take off now, like sending out some nice long ones there, so they're just starting to take off, but I did lose quite a lot. They're pretty patchy. And it is going to say this name wrong, I'm sure of it, Cheboard Orange Sherbet. Okay, the one thing that hasn't missed a beat, and I don't think I've lost a single plant since planting them, is the Queen Anne's Lace. This is all Queen Anne's Lace. They are just starting to really take off. I've pinched a few because some of them were just like, they were like really tall and just sending out one main, and I wanted them to bush up a bit. What have you found?
Lady beetle.
Oh, a lady beetle.
Look.
Yeah, I can see. I think that might be a good lady beetle, that one. So we might leave him there. Where is he?
No.
There he is. There he is. Oh no. There he goes. We'll leave him there. I think he's one of the good ones. Okay, so that's all that. And then here, this is a bit embarrassing, this section. So this is snapdragons. I struggled with them right from the start. They grew so slow, like so slow. They were the first thing I planted into plug trays. So they're like a few months old from planting. And this is still how small they are. Like I lost a fair few, of course, from the wet again. But like here, these are the biggest that I've got. And I need to pinch them out. They haven't been pinched. Well, that one there obviously got pinched or something at some point because he's bushy. But the rest of them I need to pinch. Which ones were these? These were there's a mix of Costa and Overture in here. But yeah, they certainly haven't been my friend so far. And I don't expect too much from them, especially at this time of the year. It's a bit late, it's a bit too hot for them. This is another lot of zinnias. This is the other two lots of zinnias that I planted that got washed down the gully. A few of them are coming up. There's a few in here coming up.
Granny's place. There's some.
This is one. That one there's a salmon rose. There. And this one here is the small queen red lime. Okay, and here we've got basil. Now, this is the Mrs. Burns lemon basil. I've lost a fair bit of it. I really didn't. I got a good germination, but they just seem to take really long. I think I might have planted them when it was still a bit cool. And the crazy weather going hot and cold all the time, I don't think is helping them. They're just not growing well. This is the dark opal one here. And yeah, they just don't seem to be doing well at all. But yeah, I think it's the weather is just a bit crazy and it's sending them a bit confused. I've got a section of dahlias here now. I think I've lost a couple and one hasn't come up, I think, out of all of them. These were all tubers from Florelli. And I have to say, out of the tubers that I've bought, her tubers looked the best, had the nicest, strongest looking shoots, and I got the best, like a good amount of them came up. But also, I will also note that I planted these ones later than the others, so they missed a bit of the wet weather. But like I said, I did lose two to rot. I lost this one here, Florelli Malacuta, I lost to rot. This one here is Tropical Dream. Christy Merlot, I'm not sure whether I lost it or it just hasn't come up. I'm not sure if it was the one that didn't come up. Glenmark Margaret, which looks like a beautiful plant. Florelli Sunburst. Devon Ultimate. This one here, Raspberry Cheesecake, I lost to rot, which I'm sad about. It seems to be the multi-coloured ones that I lost because Florelli Winter Sunshine, I thought it wasn't going to come up, and that was the only lemony one I could get my hands, yellow one I could get my hands on, so I was a bit sad about that, but he's popped up now. Curabelle Moonglow. Here is another one I lost, Florelli Kindness. Boysenberry. No, I think Florelli Kindness hasn't come up. So whether it rotted before it shot. But see this here? That was the Boysenberry, and yeah, it's just gone. Florelli Midnight just coming up. And Florelli Pogno is there. And over here, skip down along this one. This is where I planted another big lot of sunflowers just before the storm. And I've had, like, I don't think I've even had any of the double dazzler come up. I don't think. And just a couple of the, see, one there, of the happy face orange. They just got washed away. This was the Opus variety of the snapdragons, which were even worse than the others. They just didn't grow, just stayed tiny. Like, nothing I did helped them. Lost most of them, planted them, got the downpour, washed them away. There's like a couple hanging on to life here, but not much in them. That's just the continuance of the basil from the other row, the Mrs. Burns lemon. And then I'm not going to bore you with these rows. These are my chrysanthemums. 7 rows of chrysanthemums. There's, I think, 6 or 7, maybe 8 different varieties, 25 of each variety. I've got them marked with their names, but I'm not expecting them to all come up true to the tag, because when I first got them, I opened the package, I was sorting them out, and I had a conversation with my daughter about, oh, this one doesn't have a tag in it. So she went to the box and was finding a tag for it and pulled all the tags out of them. So they are completely mixed up. I know now they're going to be completely mixed up. So yeah, that's where we ran out of the weed mat, but I do have more now, so I just need to run the weed mat. That's garden there, matey. Into those walkways. Walkway here. Then I've got a wide bed here, which I planted cut flower mix from Meadow Flowers into this full length, plus a little bit up that end up there. And I planted it, how long ago? Maybe a week ago. No, it'd be a bit more than a week, but they're all coming up. There's plenty of plants coming up in there. I can tell I'm going to be overloaded with zinnias from that. And then the rest of this bed here, where you can see that change up there, the rest of that, I planted cosmos, single cosmos in yesterday. So again, I'm going to have a huge amount of cosmos at some point, but I'm not sad about that. This here is calendula. I planted nearly a week ago. It's crazy. It was Sunday actually. I planted these on Sunday. So this one here is Orange Flash. We're a bit late in the season, but because we've been having cooler weather, it's a bit hard to know what to and what not to plant, to be honest. Like, hose is squashing that one. So I put them in, cross my fingers that they're going to work. This one is double red here, and then this last one is Pacific Apricot to here. And this is my next succession of sunflowers that I planted yesterday. There's 200 sunflowers there. And then I'll just leave. Just be careful where you're going there, sweetheart. I will leave the rest of this bed and I'll just keep planting my successions of sunflowers into that one. So I missed, because those other sunflowers got washed away, I missed one succession, which is really annoying. But so I'm considering, but I planted 200 here, so I think 2 weeks time I'll plant probably another 100, and then 2 weeks time I'll plant another 100. So yeah, that's it. That is it for what is happening. These are the 2 rat bags that have been following me around, getting underneath my feet. Just make sure you stay on the walkway there, matey. Annabeth, you're on the end of the bed, hun. Yep, I think that's pretty much has us covered here. I've got my foliage plants. So the fence for this paddock goes just back along this side of the cellar door and winery shed there. And I've got like Maria, get off there please, there's plants in there. Jed, only allowed on the lumpy bit, mate. So, what was I saying? Murraya, Zosigium, yeah, just a few different foliage bushes. I'm going to plant them all along this fence up here, but we've got to mow it and dig the holes, and I'm hoping to lay wood chip down there, but that's a whole nother job and story. I'll get to that eventually. You can't see it, but just up over the other side of this long grass here, we've started slashing this paddock, so I'd like this to be kept slashed all the time. But it's only a little slasher, so it takes quite a while to do that. So I'll give you a bit of a look at some of these. So I pinched these out when we planted them at the start of the month. So they're just starting to send out their shoots here. So I'm aiming to have them for Mother's Day. I'll need to have one more pinch yet before then. But in the meantime, if there is, we're hoping to get videos up a bit more regularly now. My kids' little plastic chairs are perfect for sitting on to do weeding. Like, it just saves your leg and your back so much. So, if there's anything you want, that's the end of the garden tour now. But if there's anything you want us to cover, make sure you leave us a comment. We're going to try and get, I know we keep saying this and it's difficult. I do all video editing, which I'm terrible at. Hope you all enjoy it just the same. I'm not good with that. I prefer to be out here in the garden doing doing this than sitting on the computer. But yeah, we hope to be able to, now that we both have our gardens up and going, now that I'm starting to catch up a bit, we're hoping to be able to get at least one video out a week. So we're going to try and do a garden tour for each of our farms every month, like an update tour. And yeah, if there's anything you want us to cover, something that you feel like doesn't get covered and you'd like to know about, we'd love to help you out. We want to do content that is helpful for everyone. And so yeah, make sure you let us know in the comments, give us a thumbs up, a like, comments, and subscribe. And anyone else who you think might enjoy our channel, to subscribe and hit the notification button, so every time we pop a new video up, you get a notification. Follow us on Instagram. I've got to get back up on top of the Facebook page. It was connected to the Instagram page, but for some reason it's not now, so I think it's been missing the posts. And I'm not techie at all. Like, I struggle with tech, anything to do with that, so it makes it really difficult. But yeah, we want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you to for following us along on this journey, and all our Instagram followers. We've had quite a few new ones, and so we want to thank you for coming and following us. Hope you enjoy what we're putting up, and hope you continue to enjoy. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.